mean, you've got an eye for a ball, that's without a doubt, but you're not using it. That's your intention when you bang. Yeah, gosh. Look at your finish, it's different.
Shot. You knew straight away.
Look at the distance. 148 carry. What did that feel like?
Easy. Effortless.
What handicap are you playing off then?
22.
22.
I've just come down from 26 to 22.
Right.
And I've been struggling for so long, and I can hit 43 points one day, 25 on the back nine, 18 on the front nine, and then the following week, or 2 days later, struggling. I'm struggling to keep the 8s and 9s, especially the 8s and 7s off my card, and it's generally off the tee.
Okay.
And generally with a shot I'm just not expecting to hit. I want you
This is my,
to go from my options of 6 options. Alright, so that's push right, slice right, down the middle, push left, pull left with a hook.
Yeah.
They're my 5.
Yeah.
And then the 6th one is the shank. But I don't need too many shanks. But it's from, because I like to set myself up, I swing, and I never know which one of 5 shots I'm going to get.
Okay.
And it's frustrating the hell out of me, especially when you're playing 3 off the tee every time on a par 5.
Yeah.
You walk off with a 7 and you go, yeah. Frustrates the hell out of me because I know I can play so much better, and I have in the past, and I just can't get back to where I was at 18 handicap.
Right.
Which was a lot of years ago, and I've only recently come back to golf, and it just frustrates the hell out of me.
So you're trying to hit it straight,
Yeah.
and the balls do that, and we want to start it away from the target and curve it in.
Yeah.
Adjust the thinking a little bit, so that actually I'm hitting the ball away from the target. Getting used to hitting the ball away and curving it towards, because we can't curve the ball towards until we start hitting it away, because otherwise it's going to be going away from the target.
I have tried that.
Yeah.
I've tried it.
You've tried
away.
it? Cool.
Yeah. Go straight out.
So that's...
Hang on, Marcus says he won't stand with me. Aim the ball out that
I love
place.
it how I get the blame so often.
But then, you know, I've only watched some videos of people you're teaching, and, you know, I don't know whether I'm holding the club right to do what I want to do, whether the way I'm swinging the club is wrong. I'm not where I want to be with my golf.
No.
And I know I'm getting older, and it's not going to get easier, and I'm not going to get a great deal better, because as I get older, obviously certain things are going to happen to my body.
Through different stages of your life, like all forms of your life, you see different opportunities. So with your golf, yes, your distance might come in a bit, okay, but then you see other opportunities where I can really work on my pitching and my short game and my putting and bunker play. I can still be the best player in the club from 100 yards in. Okay, I can still be off scratch from 100 yards in. I might not be able to hit it 220, but I can still play. I might not be able to hit it 250, sorry, but I can still play really good golf. So your focus shifts, your mindset is continually adapting. Once we start to expand the game and develop this repertoire and confidence, then you start to adapt your game plan, and suddenly the way you play the course changes a bit. You see a lot of golfers kind of stagnate, they hit a plateau and they're just like that.
I play with a lot.
And there's not a lot of evolution in their game. It's kind of, they're not really adapting. It's like they just turn up and they do the same thing week in, week out. And look, so many more reasons for playing golf than just busting a great shot. It's like, yeah, we want to rip it and we want to hit that nice draw, a nice fade and make that birdie. But there's lots of other reasons, playing with your mates, like you said, the social side. But there is, when you do hit that sweet shot, that makes it all worthwhile, and we want to do it more often. But we also want to do it in a way that's going to score.
I don't think you should settle. You should always be looking to improve somewhere.
Exactly.
No matter what.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. The journey says everything. That says everything about you. So we'll crack on and we'll hit some shots, John, and I'm going to get that cup of tea for you,
Right.
and then let you hit a few shots and we'll get warmed up. That's that little push cut, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially when you consider that this isn't a 7-iron. It's
The
a
loft.
6-iron.
Yeah.
Loft makes it all that different.
Yeah, there's a bit of kidology going on these days with the clubs, isn't there? Are we definitely going to be able to do something? Either these forces that you're creating are reacting to some kind of movement that you're trying to make, okay, or they're reacting to an intention of where you're going. When I asked you to throw the ball, you didn't think about your movement, you threw it. Your words were, where do you want me to throw it? How hard do you want me to throw it? You didn't say anything about how do you want me to throw it. You didn't say underarm, sidearm, overarm. You just went, where do you want to go? And I said, just hit it straight into the screen. And you took the path of you made a movement that felt right to you. Okay. So you reacted instinctively, and then I said throw it side on, and you threw it just side on. But you didn't ask for any technical information about how to throw it side on. You just threw it side on.
I've just got to switch my brain off.
No, well, we can never do that. All we've got to do is shift our attention.
Thinking about what I'm doing.
The analytical, left side, right side.
Yeah.
But we need both, and we've got to allow the body to react, and we've got to challenge it so it reacts a different way, and that's going to give us a lot of really critical information about how your body wants to move, and then you'll start to find out what feels best for you and what actually works the best, as opposed to thinking about, oh, I've got to do this, and you're going back to this kind of reductionist approach where you're isolating certain parts of the body, and now you're thinking about how they move, and now I've got to now swing a club which requires all the body, and now I've got to think about this and that, and it's kind of, it turns into one huge mess. And you thought you were doing something simply because you were thinking just about one thing, but by thinking about that one thing, you're actually setting yourself up now for a situation that's going to very quickly evolve into this scramble. So I'm just going to tip the green stage up, right to left. Right, John, so challenge for you.
Yeah.
Come and stand on here for me. You've got one go, you can line it up, you can read the green, whatever you want to do. You've got one go to roll it into that hole. You take your time with it, then you get one go. And you're going to roll it. You should be good at this for 10-pin bowling. You've got the right action.
Oh, John, stop it.
So, that's awesome.
That's unreal. Did you spin it as well? Bit of 10-pin bowling there.
What were you thinking about? Where was your attention?
The hole and curve that it's going to make, and where it's going to go into the cup.
So you're thinking about the curve.
Yeah. And I was just trying to work out how much of a curve there was going to be with the angle. And I just, there you go.
Okay, and what are we hitting? Curves.
Curves, yes.
And where's your attention when you're playing that shot? Where was your attention earlier when you were swinging and you were playing that shot?
Well, in my mind, my intention was where I wanted to hit the ball, in the air.
It didn't look like that though, when you look back on the video, because you were going through some kind of protocol with grip, stance, there was things going on with your stance. Your attention wasn't always on here. You were looking, I don't know whether you were lining your feet up or you...
Just trying to get the feel for where I wanted to be.
Okay. And we can often think we're focused on this.
Yeah.
Because that is my intention. But what we don't realise is that we're shifting our attention onto other things. Because as soon as you start looking at your grip, or at your feet, or at your club face, all these things, it's a stimulus that we're going to react to. Whether we like it or not, we are aware of it now because I'm looking at it. I mean, you can be aware of things you're not looking at, but especially when it's visual, it can cue your movement in a certain way. It can trigger it. It can influence it. When you rolled that ball, I'm guessing 100% of your focus, i.e. your vision, I never saw you once check where you were. You just moved round, took your time looking, and then you just went. And your focus was always here.
Yeah.
And you moved round, okay, and you probably couldn't tell me where you were again. You don't need to put an alignment stick down to do that again.
No.
You'll just go through the same process again. You wouldn't try and repeat that same movement, exact same movement again to do that. You just go through the process again where I see it going and you move around and you go again. You're visualising that curve, and what started to happen as a result of that is you started to move. You were starting to move. So what were you moving? You were moving everything because everything's aligning itself. Every joint in your body is moving in response to this in a way that's organising itself, ready so you can make that roll in action to produce that roll that you're visualising into the hole. So your attention only had to be here, and your grip, stance, aim, posture, backswing, through swing, follow through, weight shift, pressure shift, rotations, timing, sequence, you name it, everything happened, you didn't think about it once.
Just a consequence of what I was aiming at.
Yes.
You know, just let the body do.
And if it didn't go in, you wouldn't think of any of those things I've just told you, which are all relevant in throwing because it's the same action. Okay. You just go again, and you'd think, that went a bit left, so what might I do? I've got to really focus on it and maybe just feel it. So you'd start to adjust, but when you were hitting golf balls on the range here, you were hitting some that way, but the stance stayed the same.
Yeah. Yeah. it's the old
insanity, isn't it?
height of madness to carry on doing the same thing and expect a different result.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and I'm getting the same result. Well, I'm not. It's always a different result.
You're not happy with the result?
I'm not.
Because it's very variable. Any form of adjustment is better than nothing. And then some form of, you will be making some, subconsciously I think, but you're not making any real wholesale changes which are allowing you more affordance for movement to actually draw the ball or fade the ball. You probably made more change to your movement with this 8-foot roll or putt than you did on these golf shots that are going 130, 140 yards. Because you're hitting those from the same spot every time. But here you were moving around. So we need the same level of variability in your movement adaptation here with the full shots as we do with the putt. Trying to do the same thing every time, getting varied results, but the process that you're using is A, producing these results, and B, never going to create a feedback loop for you to actually improve because you're always trying to do the same thing. And this doesn't matter whether it's a ball game, whether it's rolling, throwing, kicking, hitting. So whether we're hitting a 7-iron or whether we're putting, it's a breaking ball. Whether it's along the ground or in the air, it doesn't matter, it's a breaking ball. Now, John, as we're going to find out, is how your swing produces that curve. How do you move to do that? And then how do we use this elastic potential to get the snap at the bottom to give you that speed? But how you see it is very important because that's going to influence how you then approach it with movement. Nobody showed you how to roll the ball,
No.
and that was unbelievable. And you did it first time. So that's in the system. You've just been throwing. The elasticity, it's in the system. Everything I'm talking about, you already possess. What we've got to do is we've got to enable you to elicit a state where you can just access this, recruit as needed what is required for that form of movement that you're going to recognise produces the shape of shot that you were visualising in the first place. Okay, now, straight pull. One shot, one go.
Nice.
Wasn't going to miss. Why? Because we've just done all that. Okay. Because you've just done all that. All this gave you the sense for that. But just practicing that wouldn't give you the sense for all this. Because you knew how this felt and you knew how that felt, you knew where straight was. If I know where left is and right is, I've got a sense for where straight is. If I only ever go straight and try to go straight, and one goes left and one goes right, I'm lost because I'm always trying to go straight. That's the radio. I've gone this way, I've gone that way, that's where I need to be. I mean, you've got an eye for a ball, that's without a doubt, but you're not using it. You are using it in this part of the game, and you probably fancy yourself as a bit of a putter, and you should do really, because you've got amazing touch, and you've got amazing vision. And we all possess this, but you're using it. Not all of us use it, but you're using it in this part of the game. But I'll take you 1 yard further back and we go and hit these balls through 140 yards. You're not using those. No. You're not using the same process. It's a different job. But your intention might change when you go on the mat because you're trying to hit the ball up further, and there might be something else is happening. But it doesn't have to. Okay, it doesn't have to. Because when you threw the ball, you were using the same process as the putting. Because what did you say to me, Marcus? Where do you want me to throw it?
Yeah.
The same as you were looking where it's going in the hole. Where's it going? First thing, where's it going? And then everything else just started to just adapt. You think about it. It just felt right. It just felt right. And then you waited. You didn't go too soon. You didn't rush it because you didn't go straight away. You went somewhere, and I don't know where that place is, and you don't know because you couldn't go back to it. So there's no point practicing golf in the same place with the rods and all that stuff, doing the same thing every time because you can't go back to that same place. It's gone. It's like a thought. It comes and it goes. Don't hold on to it. It's like buses. Just let them pass. They come. You're aware of it. Let it go. There's no faults and fixes. I could have made some judgment call and gone, oh John, I'm not sure about your form with that one. Your wrist wasn't quite. And you're like, what about my wrist? And now, bit of NLP. And now you're like, oh, my wrist. Oh yeah. How do you hold it doing that, John? And you're like, what's up with my wrist? Suddenly now your attention's on the wrist, and it's like, now there wasn't anything wrong with your wrist. Of course there wasn't. But we can pick up some movement, we can pick up variability and describe it in detail about any part of the body. It's easy to start picking out, and then the easy ones are like the head, the shoulders, the hips, the feet, the toes. I mean, what you're going to start to realise is when you were holding that club at the beginning of the session, you're going to find out how ludicrous that was by doing this. It doesn't seem it, and don't take it the wrong way, because a lot of people do this, but this has got absolutely nothing to do with where that golf ball's going. Absolutely nothing. Because for starters, I don't even know if I'm square to this. In fact, I'm not. Because my posture's like this anyway. So no one's square. I know what you're doing. You're thinking, oh, this is square. But you didn't do this when you were rolling the ball. No. You didn't need any of that, you just went like that. It's the same as every other sport. That's why we feel we can play it, because we can play all the other sports. You're focusing on the ball. When you were on the break, imagine you were throwing a ball, up there, through there, throw a ball, imagine you're throwing a ball, overarm, big throw, overarm throw. Oh, over. Look where you go. Oh. If you were throwing that over your shoulder, as a spear, a javelin, up there, where you go, up. Because that is where you're going. Don't look at your grip, just feel your grip now. It's good. It's different to how it felt before the grip. Move around for that draw. You can have a little look just for orientation, but that's it.
Shot.
Feel different?
Yeah. Just felt so easy. I didn't have to. I wasn't thinking about anything apart from where I wanted the ball to go. And I just swung.
And it felt right.
Got a good result. It just, I wasn't thinking, where's this ball going to go?
Awesome.
Just felt nice.
So it should. That's why we play the game. Just put the club down, just out to where it is. Now move into your posture. You don't have to look down, but just feel your grip. You can pick the club up, you can waggle it, move it around, feel where you need to be. Move your body round, and then you can have a little look down just for as you check. There we go.
Nice.
Once you've pushed it forward, that's it. You don't have to go soft and loose. It's like, this is it, that's where I'm going. That's your intention with your bang. Yeah, gosh.
Looking good, John.
You've been trying to be loose as a goose.
Yeah.
When your forces are efficient, you will be loose as a goose. You've got no option because the body will do it for you. The golf swing came before all the instruction, so if there was people swinging relaxed, they weren't thinking about being relaxed. No one had instructed them to be relaxed. It was a product of really good movement. Express yourself when you finish. Let's hold the finish at the end and watch that ball, and that finish should be an expression of the shot. So hold your finish. That should be a. The finish should be an expression of your intent. Look at the distance, 170 carry.
Nice, John.
Because now you've got hold of the lever. You didn't have hold of the lever. This was the lever that was transferring. That was the hammer, and you were like really soft with the hammer.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the hammer? You're going to hold it and you're going to bang. But the levers, there's an accumulation of torque through the levers, and you're just bang. You've got to hold it firm, and you're not going to be able to transfer it.
No.
It's going to go, and you're going to lose the. Then everything else is going to tighten up. Your balance is going to be affected, and then you start stopping because you might fall over and all that kind of stuff. So, trying to be loose, you didn't think about being loose, and you hit it 20 yards further. Once you start to use your body, just like throwing, you didn't think about relaxing your arm when you threw.
No.
You didn't think about relaxing your arm when you were doing this. It's a byproduct of good intention and then efficient movement in response to that intention.
Yeah.
So it all just happens. And do you know what? Your body's been doing this for millions of years. Not yours or mine,
thanks.
but
No, I'm getting on a bit.
but evolution's been doing this for millions of years. So we are the most up-to-date model of the human body.
Well, yeah.
We are the iPhone, whatever it is. Okay, we have got all the technology we need through evolution. We don't need to use ourselves like a Nokia 3210. We've got so much more functionality. And you know what? We don't even have to think about how to use it. It happens automatically. Where do you go to make this move as easy as possible? Drop the club down.
Nice.
Now do it. Through there, withdraw. How high that is. Look at your finish, it's different. Much about the shot, it's more about where did that swing take you with that intention. The later you make the whip, the more you're storing your energy for later. Bosh, then you let it go. You're building up all that potential energy, ready to fire through with your verticals, through your torque and it's kinetic, through to the club. You don't start to stop and slow it down and reduce it because we're a bit afraid. We've got to narrow the stance a bit, we've got to explore a bit more. Brilliant.
That looks incredible.
And now let your body rotate. Use those discs on the way back. Awesome. Now move around over here for me. Move around, use all that rotation for the ground.
Shot. You knew straight away.
Look at the distance. 148 carry.
That was good, wasn't it?
That's where Jen might see this.
We can edit it out, don't worry. We'll put beep on. What did that feel like?
Easy. Effortless.
So this swing probably needs to go more this way. Let's come back.
Yeah.
So that club needs this swing, and this club needs this swing. If my swing with the driver feels like an iron, I'm probably too steep for it. I'm probably not. shallow enough. You can move into a place that's going to make it easier to swing up to that place. That's the finish. That's the finish. And that's it over. Well, look at that. 205-yard carry.
It's looking good, mate.
It's awesome. Find that posture. Move into that strong posture. Where does it feel? Looking up. You're going to help. Move into a posture that's going to help you hit that ball high.
Bit more intent on that.
Look at this for a golf shot.
Shot.
Another 203-yard carry.
Slight
with
draw.
draw spin. 255 RPM to the left. Starting 9 degrees right, so put a draw. You've got this in the bag.
I know I have now, yeah.
You've always had it. You've always had it.
Just been trying to find it. It's not easy to find, is it?
No, you need to do this. Yeah, you need to do this. That's why we need the time. Because we have to. It might sound like I'm not instructing you, telling you what to do. I'm just shifting your attention all the time. We're moulding this thing together. I'm allowing you to just step across the line and let yourself, oh, do it. Oh, got it happen. Oh, I'll do it again. Oh, I'll do it again. Oh, now I can do it more. Now I can do it more. And then you're going to take the reins. I'm just guiding you to take the reins.
Nice one, John.
192-yard carry with draw. That's awesome. That wasn't really in the bag, was it?
No.
But look how much you've had to adapt to get it.
Yeah.
And on your own, you'd probably never have explored those extremes.
No, I would never have stood pointing over there, thinking I'm going to draw this. I stood here thinking I want to draw this, and I was come through, and you'd gone straight, and then, ooh.
And when you let it go.
Yeah, and that one, the whip came through. I didn't have to. It didn't. Got it right.
Yeah, you did. You know what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's a really powerful memory. How do you feel with it? All right.
Great. Yeah. Feel far more confident about going onto the golf course now.
Awesome.
So,
that's what it's
and
all
if I
about.
don't hit a great one, it's not going to go that far off.
No.
No, it's not going to go.
You haven't got those whites, none of those wild ones.
And I didn't have any of the hooks either.
You're exploring, you're having fun. What's it like when I go higher? I mean, your posture changed dramatically when you started moving in, and now I'm going to go higher. Now I'm going to go more draw, now fade, and that's where you need to explore. All right.
Yeah, fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Nicely done, John.
No, thank you. Thank you
that was
both.
brilliant.
That's great, mate.
We've got the distance, we've got the shapes. It's practice. That's all it is.
And knowing what to practice, that's the key now, is knowing
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to be practicing, not going over there going, why isn't this working? Why isn't that working? And you know, this is what I was told to do, and this is what I was told to do. And
Kind of plucking at straws, really.
yeah, trying to find out what works, and you can't. You need to find someone that knows how it all works.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Which is why I came to you. I was just so desperate, really.
Really?
Yeah, I was just so frustrated by it all.
And you've got that in the tank. You've got all that in the
Yeah.
bag, and you've